Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, starting this practice, standing with the feet underneath the hips, spread out the toes. And when I say underneath the hips, any comfortable distance. Some days you may find yourself naturally a little bit wider, some days naturally a little bit narrower. So whatever feels right for you. And just take a moment to really kind of, shift the weight. I did a class outside the other day, and I love being outside on the ground and really feeling the lumpy, bumpy ground beneath my feet. So if you are able to do this practice outside, I highly recommend it. But really kind of, shifting the weight, really feel the ground. And even if you are inside, notice how your feet kind of like mold to the mat, the carpet, whatever that you are on. Then just soften or close your eyes. As always, if you don't want to close your eyes, you can just focus on the very tip of your nose to kind of blur out any other distractions. Has Lulu come to join us? So just simply noticing how you feel this moment in time. And as I've said before, we so struggle nowadays, and me included a lot of time, to just really be present. We've got so many distractions that, maybe we didn't have. When I was a child, we only had 4 television channels, and the television stopped at midnight. You didn't have the internet or mobile phones, and I do believe that a lot of our kind of stress and anxiety nowadays is linked to the fact that we have so many distractions. So many things, vying for our attention, not to mention all our commitments and, to-do lists and stuff. And we really struggle to just be present. And even, when we're doing one thing, we're already thinking about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So it is a real challenge to just really be in this moment. And that's one of the reasons I invite you to close your eyes, because when you close your eyes, we have to pay more attention. For one, we're no longer aware of the distractions around us. 2, we have to be a bit more aware because, our balance, our stability, we rely an awful lot on our sight for our balance. And you may notice as you close your eyes, you can feel yourself kind of swaying a little bit. And that's okay. It's about really just focusing on everything as it is, without wishing anything were different. Now, I've noticed as I'm getting a little bit older that I can't do quite as many things as I used to. And, sometimes I struggle to just accept what is, rather than thinking, I used to be able to do blah, 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 blah. Just literally accepting what is. And if you wish, you can bring in a simple affirmation. Today, I choose to feel peace in the present moment. Today, I choose to feel peace in the present moment. Or you can just, if you wish, think to yourself peace as you breathe, inhaling peace, exhaling peace. Or I choose to feel at peace in the present moment. And as you're checking in, I want you to imagine roots extending down from the soles of your feet, like those tree roots, plant roots, going down through the floor, through the foundations, down into the earth. And as you breathe in, imagine drawing energy up through those roots, up from the earth, up through your legs, through your body, all the way up to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, imagine breathing out all the way from the top of your head, all the way down and out through your roots, out through your feet. So as you inhale, you can imagine drawing in energy, positivity, prana, life force. As you exhale, you can imagine letting go of any negative thoughts, feelings, emotions. Let them flow out through your feet. Just gently opening your eyes, soften your knees. As you breathe in, allow the arms to float up As you breathe out, allow them to float back down. So imagine your hands, your arms are following the direction of the breath of energy. So as you inhale, the breath rising up from Mother Earth, rising up through your body. As you exhale, the breath, the energy, the prana flowing back down the body, down and out into the earth. So it becomes like a kind of moving meditation. Once you know what you're doing, you can soften or close your eyes. So really filling your body with breath. Today I choose to feel peace in the present moment. Just accepting everything just as it is, without labeling it good, bad, right or wrong. It just is. You might start to feel energy building up in your hands as warmth or as tingling sensation or as some other sensations. Now bring your hands in front of your heart as if you're holding onto a ball of energy as you breathe in. Open your hands out, exhale as you bring them back. Your knees soft. So again, the hands are mirroring the movement of your breath and the movement of energy. If you think everything in life is either expanding or contracting, it's either living or it's dying, and everything that dies comes back to the earth to be reborn again. When it's daytime on one side of the earth, it's nighttime on the other. When the sea is out, the tide is out on one side of the earth, it's in on the other side. So everything is a constant ebb and flow, expansion and contraction, receiving and giving. Again, you may start to feel warmth, energy between your hands. And notice how you feel taking these deep, generous, conscious breaths. Releasing, keeping the feet kind of where they are, maybe a little bit wider if you wish. Soften your knees, drop your chin, and start to roll down through the spine, pouring yourself into an easy forward bend. And when I say easy, I mean that you're not aiming for anything, you're not trying to push or pull, you're not trying to force, you're just letting the arms hang down, knees soft. If there's any tension in your back, bend your knees even more, or maybe even take the feet wider. And you can maybe turn the head a little bit, as if you're shaking your head no. Get nice deep breaths, filling and emptying the body with each breath. So as you breathe in, still filling the whole body. As you breathe out, emptying the whole body. You may like to sway a little bit, bring a little bit of movement in, almost like you're seaweed in water. If you feel like you need to take your feet wider or narrower, you can do that. Doesn't matter whether you can touch the floor or not. Then come back to center. Bring your elbows onto your thighs and bring your palms together. Now, if at any time you feel like you need to adjust your feet, bring them closer or wider, do so. And just kind of like have a little jiggle about here, dropping the hips, drawing the heart forward, warming into the knees a little bit. a little kind of cat flex. Inhale, stick the bottom out, draw the heart forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, lift through the back of the body. Then hold that kind of flex. So you feel like you're in a banana shape, but actually if you see, look at my spine, you're actually in a flat back position rather than rounded. So it feels like you're kind of sticking your bottom out. It feels like you're concave, but actually as you can see, you're in a flat back position. So we're going to warm up the spine a little bit more. So keeping the left elbow wherever it is, you're going to start to turn through belly, chest, ribs, reaching the right arm up. Now I like to straighten this leg, get more of a twist, because if I don't, I'm kind of like here, but that's totally up to you. Then you can drop the left hip down, reaching through the fingertips, and then gently release. So take your time, do what works for you. So inhaling the other side, open out. So focus on the twist in your spine, rather than thinking of the arm. So quite often we're focusing on that arm reaching up, but really focus on turning through your belly, through your chest, through your ribs, then reaching the arm up, stretching through the fingertips. So really taking your time, really resting your elbow on that thigh, then rotate back. Same on the other side. So you can do that self-assist if you like, holding onto your rib cage, drawing it around, then reaching up, and come back down. This time hold on to opposite elbows if you can, and keeping the elbows glued to your thighs. Inhale, drop the hips down so you're kind of looking slightly forward, but keeping the head still. As you breathe out, slowly try and straighten your legs, or as much as you can, keeping the elbows glued to your thighs. So don't worry if you can't straighten them completely. So inhale, bend the knees, drop the hips down, and exhale as you straighten. And as you straighten the legs, think of opening up the backs of the knees, lengthening the backs of the legs, rather than just snapping the knees shut. Then bend the knees, bring your hands this time onto your thighs. We're going to warm up the spine a little bit more. You just start off just focusing on your lower back and pelvis. So as you inhale, tilt the pelvis forward a little bit, as if you're pointing your hips towards your thighs. As you exhale, just tuck under a little bit. So you're doing that. So inhale, tilt the pelvis forward. Exhale, tuck. So just focus on your kind of lower spine to start with, and visualize your spine in your mind's eye. So imagine the first few vertebrae, moving the first few vertebrae, and as you arch up, really suck your belly button in towards your spine. So imagine tucking your tailbone, pointing it at 12 o'clock, then pointing it at 6 o'clock. So arms stay straight. Notice my arms aren't moving, it's all in my lower spine. Then you can start to move into the mid-back. So think of rounding a little bit, lifting through the mid-back, and visualize what you want to do. Focus on the areas that you want to be stretching. Again, lift through the back of your ribs, breathing in and out, in and out, to make the movement even bigger, still all the way up to the base of your skull. Lift through the back of your heart, tuck the chin in. Inhale, flex heart forward. Exhale, arch. And again, notice how it feels. So even if it feels like you're not moving very much, just by focusing on each part of the spine, you should notice it feels different as you move through the whole spine. So from the start, you should feel a little bit different to when we were just focusing on the lower back. That's what I'm trying to say. And roll up to standing, coming all the way up. I'm just going to inhale, reach the arms out, You're going to grab hold of your right wrist and stretch up and over. Now I want you to imagine stretching from your hand down to your heel. So push your ribs out a little bit, lift your hips, lift through your ribs. So rather than just collapsing to the side, think of lengthening that side body and look slightly forward. Firm up both thighs. Then inhale, draw your belly button in, switch, stretch, up and over. So again, rather than just collapsing, up and over. Press down through your feet. Again, eye gaze slightly forward. Hold and breathe. Pressing into all four corners of your feet. Breathing into that side lung. Inhale up. Bring your palms together. Bring your hands down. Bend your knees, allow your heart to follow your hands, and come back into that easy forward bend. Then lift halfway, just bring your hands just below your knees, straighten your arms and lift your chest forward. Bend your knees a little bit, just like we did in the cat stretch. Hands on the knees again for another cat stretch. Inhale, lift the tailbone, heart forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under. So again, inhale, flex, stretch the front of the body. Exhale, arch. Again, really notice what is happening with your pelvis. And I also want you to notice the stretch in the backs of your legs. So as you lift the pelvis, as you tilt it forward, you'll feel a stretch in the backs of the legs. So we're going to hold that position here, hands on the thighs, and you're slowly going to straighten your legs and stretch forward. So we're in a flat back position. So Ardha Uttanasana is all about stretching out the back of the body. So the backs of the thighs, upper body. Again, you might feel like you're kind of concave, but you can see that my spine is straight. And then wherever your hands end up, so just below the knees, just above the knees, or you may even find that you can touch the floor, keeping that nice flat back position. Or you might bend the knees slightly, still looking slightly forward. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, nice deep knee bend. Relax down into that ragdoll position. I'm going to roll up through the spine a little bit quicker than before, so press into the feet. You're going to inhale, unfurl. If you feel dizzy or whatever, go slow. If not, come all the way up. Bring the palms, bring the hands up, grab hold of right wrist, left hand. Exhale, up and over. Again, stretching from your heels to your hands. Relax your shoulders. Lift through the ribs. Breathe. And inhale up. Switch again. Exhale up and over. Make space between your ribs. Inhale up. Palms together. Exhale. Heart follows hands. Nice deep knee bend. Then come into that ragdoll position. And inhale, lift up into your flat back position. Your variation, wherever feels right for you. And exhale, forward bend. Release the arms, nice deep knee bend. Inhale, unfurl, come all the way up. Bring the palms to touch above your head. And exhale, release the hands down. Bring the feet a little bit closer, soften the knees. Shift the weight onto one foot. Peel the other foot off and just circle that foot. And use the wall or chair if you need to. Breathe nice and deeply. And around the other way. And place that foot down. Soften both knees, shift the weight across. Peel the foot off like the floor's really sticky. And circle the other foot. Woo! And round the other way. And again, place that foot down. Shift the weight back onto the first side. This time you're going to step that foot back so you're pressing into the ball of the foot. Make sure the feet are at least hip width apart. Shoulders over your hips. You can use wall or chair if you need to. Just inhale, bend the knees, a little kind of mini lunge. Exhale as you come up, press into that ball of that foot, heel lifted. Again, inhale. Bend, so we're stretching out the toes. You can tuck the tailbone under a little bit, push the hips forward, stretch out the hip flexors, and exhale up. Inhale, bend, hold for a second or two. Exhale up. This time, inhale, as you exhale, press that back heel towards the floor. Don't worry if it doesn't touch the floor, feel the stretch in the back of the leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press the heel down. So almost doing like a little mini warrior one position. And stretching out those toes. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Then bring that foot back. Bring it in if you can. Hug the knee in. So you can use a chair if you need to, a chair or wall. Relax the shoulders. Just take 2 breaths here, finding a point to focus on, finding your stability, if it's there today. And release. Then shifting, changing sides. So stepping the other foot back. And make sure the feet are at least hip width apart so you're not on a tight rope. Looking forward, inhale. Bend. Again, tuck the tailbone under, push the hips forward, stretch out the hip flexors, exhale, come up. Again, stretching out the feet, knees, and hip flexors. This time, inhale, as you exhale, really press into that heel. Don't worry if the heel doesn't touch the floor, you'll still feel the stretch in your calf muscle. Breathe in as you breathe out. Bring that knee through. Try and hold on to it if you can. Relax the shoulders. Woo. Nice deep breaths. Smile. Relax your jaw. And release. Then just come to the front edge of your mat. Feet about hip width apart, spread out the toes, shoulders back, find your mountain pose. And inhale, reach up, grab hold of the right wrist, exhale up and over to the left. Inhale up, switch, exhale up and over to the right. Inhale up, exhale. Heart follows hands down into a forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway, your variation. Then exhale, bend the knees, bring your fingertips beside your toes. So try and keep them beside your toes, not in front of. Lift your right foot, extend it out, and find that lunge position. If you can't reach the floor, have blocks either side of that foot. And as you inhale, scoop the belly button in, scoop almost like you're doing a cat arch. So tuck the tailbone under a little bit, lift through the back of the body, then exhale, stretch through the heel, stretch through the front thigh. So inhale, lift pelvic floor muscles, tummy muscles, back of the heart. Exhale, stretch. 2 more. So if you do that with no hands, really engaging your core, then stretch in both directions. 1 more. Inhale, pull belly button in. Exhale, stretch. Then release the back knee, untuck the toes. Either stay here We'll climb up the thighs, lean back a little bit. So you want to have your shoulders almost slightly behind your hips, not in front of. So if you need to, come back a lot, lift and open your heart, roll the elbows back, and then maybe sink back down into the lunge. Eye gaze lifted, hug the thighs into the midline. Breathe into your heart space. Today I choose to feel peace in the present moment. We're going to come into plank position. So hands under shoulders. Tuck the back toe under. Stretch through that leg. Now take your time. Lift through your belly without tensing your shoulders before you take the other foot back. Then you can make adjustments if you need to. So hands under shoulders. Head in line with spine. So you're not doing the head drop. Pull the belly button in. Stretch through the heels. Stretch through the crown of the head. 2 breaths here. Maybe you can come to your knees if you need to. If you need to. Now release your knees, release your toes. Sit back into a child's pose. And come onto your hands and knees, hands under shoulders. Inhale, cat flex, lift the tailbone, heart forward. Exhale, arching up. And inhale, flex. Keep that little flex in your tailbone. Tuck the toes under and sit your bum back to your heels. Then try and relax the shoulders away from your ears. Tuck your elbows in and see if you can bring your ears in alignment with your arms. Adjust the hands if you need to. Strong arms. Press into your hands so your knees lift off the floor. Keep the arms strong and start to straighten legs. Just come halfway. So we're in a bent leg dog position. Focus on the stretch in the upper body. So your hands to hips. Stretch. As you breathe in, bend the knees, bring your chest towards your thighs. As you breathe out, slowly press your heels towards the floor. So inhale, bend the knees, and as you press the heels down, your head should stay where it is. We don't want the upper body moving forward, so we're opening up the backs of the knees. Then lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. Take a little step first. Have a couple little bounces. Look where you want to go. So look slightly forward. As you push into your feet, press down into your hands. Whew. And you may land in a frog squat like this. That's absolutely okay, especially if you're worried about shooting forward. Just land in a low squat and then straighten up, and you might walk the rest a little bit. It's all good. Practice makes progress. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Come all the way up. Reach up, grab right wrist. Exhale, stretch up and over. Inhale up, grab left wrist. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, up. Palms to touch. Exhale, bring the hands down the center line. Heart follows hands. Fingertips beside toes. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Fingertips beside toes. Take the left foot back. Remember, if you can't step very far back, just put it down and wiggle it. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Again, blocks either side of the front foot if needed. Inhale, lift through the belly, lift through the back of the heart. Exhale, draw your heart forward, stretch through that heel. Inhale, curling up like a cat flex. Exhale, stretch. So you can do that with no hands, engage your core. Woo! Exhale, stretch. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, stretch. Remember that energy, two-way energy flow. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, climb up the thighs, push up. Bring your shoulders over your hips. So come back up a little bit if you need to. Roll the shoulders back like you're going to zip tie, pulling your elbows back. And then if it feels okay to do so, sink forward. Eye gaze lifted. Couple of breaths here. Hugging the thighs into the center line. After your next exhale, release the hands. Tuck the back toe, straighten the leg, firm up the belly. Keep that leg firm before you take the other foot back. So knees or toes, hold here, 2 breaths. Keep lifting through your belly, through your pelvic floor muscles. Inhale, release knees, release toes. Exhale, sit back into an extended child's pose. Stretch out your shoulders. Lift your head. And from here, tuck your toes under. I'm going to come from down into down face dog from here. So adjust your hands if you need to. Slide the shoulders back and down, ears in line with your arms. Press into your hands. Start to lift your hips, press into those hands. Again, get to that halfway point so the knees are bent. Breathe in as you breathe out. Slowly straighten your right leg or press into the right heel. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch the left heel towards the floor. Inhale, bend. Exhale, right. Inhale, bend. Exhale, left. Inhale, bend. Look forward, take a step forward. Lift your heels, bend your knees. And get ready. Press into your hands and chip. And land in a little squat. And then see if you can bring yourself down onto the mat. If you can't come down this way, just come down any way you can. Hold on behind the knees, scoop the feet in, squeeze the tummy in, relax the shoulders. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, tip back. And see if you can bring your shins parallel to the floor without tensing your shoulders. And if you can manage that, then release the arms. If you find you're tensing your shoulders, then keep hold. You can also bring the hands behind you and lean back slightly. So we're trying to make sure we're only feeling it in your toe muscles, not your shoulders. Or you can try challenging yourself a little bit more and taking the hands a little bit higher. So again, whatever works for you. 2 breaths, relax your jaw, relax your face. Breathe in as you breathe out. See if you can extend the legs and lower yourself down into Shavasana. So legs mat width, shake the legs out, arms out, palms up. Just allow your eyes to close. And just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling now compared to when we started. Again, with a sense of curiosity, not with a sense of wishing anything were different, not with a sense of critiquing your performance or, criticizing yourself for stuff you struggle with. None of that. Let that go. But today I choose to find peace in the present moment. And keep in mind that this kind of thing is a constant practice, because we're so used to doing that. I mean, I do it all the time, you're doing one thing, you're thinking of the next thing you've got to do, and the next thing, and the next thing. And it is really hard to just literally focus on what you're doing right now, because we're so used to being busy. We're so used to having a long list of things to do. And a lot of the time, the world wouldn't end if a lot of the stuff didn't get done, but we beat ourselves up over it. So it's really challenging. We've got so many probably more commitments and responsibilities nowadays, as well as the distractions. There's a lot more pressure because we're seeing other people's lives through social media. I mean, I question my life and my decisions more now than I ever used to. So there's all these kind of things that, are the reason we're so stressed out and strung out and struggling with adrenal fatigue nowadays. So just keep reminding yourself, each time you bring yourself back to the present moment, you are teaching yourself to be mindful. And to begin with, you'll probably have to bring yourself back every 2 seconds, and that's okay, because your mind will go, oh, and I've got to do this later, oh, and I've got to do that, and oh, did I do blah, 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 and that's okay. Noticing, bring it back. Notice, bring it back. Notice, bring it back. And that's another reason focusing on the breath is so powerful, because you're only breathing in this moment. And the only moment that you're truly alive is this breath. The breath you've just breathed is gone. It's been and gone. Done and dusted. Just this breath. And then this breath. So you can decide to stay here for a while longer. And if you want to stay but you're never quite sure what to do, you can just count the breath. You can just literally count from, say, 26 down to 1, or something like that, or 12 down to 1, whatever. Or just literally lie there and observe your body, observe your thoughts, observe the sensations, without any kind of end goal in mind. Just literally be and allow yourself to come out of it when you feel ready, not because you're going to rush off to the next thing. So notice how you're constantly, I'd like to stay, but I should be doing blah, 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 I should be doing blah, 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 I should blah, blah, blah. No shoulding all over yourself. You'll do it, but no shoulding. But if you are ready to end your practice, then start to stretch out the arms and legs, moving in whatever way comes naturally to you right now. Always taking your time, there's no rush. I'm only rushing because I've got some rice on the cooker and I'm certainly not going to run out of water. But when you are ready, when you come back up, always bringing your hands to your heart to seal your practice and a way of honoring yourself for taking this time out. Namaste. Any questions, any comments, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Enjoy the rest of your day.